Yo, SojuTalk Nation! On this week's episode, we'll be covering Fuego releases from Rocket Punch, Taemin, Cherry Bullet, Treasure, and on and off. We'll also be cooking up some spicy news coverage, including AOA Mina developments, SM and JYP create new joint company, and Super M run it back. So prepare your body, strap on your rocket because we punching it to 11. Hit me with that intro! Hey, what's up everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 99. And we're recording on August 10th, 2020. I'm Doug, and joining me today we got Warren.
Hey, what's up everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
And as a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Sub to the SojuTalk YouTube channel, join the SojuTalk Discord, and be a part of the SojuTalk Nation. Dude, this is the last episode season 2.
Season 2.
Right.
Season 2 is ending.
We're hitting three digits next week.
Yeah, we're hitting 3 digits. And technically, we've passed our second pod anniversary because we dropped our first episode on like the 8th or something like that. So
Wow.
we're going to be talking about that and all we're going to reflect on season 2 at the end of the show in State of the Nation. But in terms of announcements, number 1, a big shout out to our new Fuego patron, Lily. So shout out to Lily.
Welcome.
And second, this announcement is titled Questions? So with season 3 only a week away, Cousin Harold is seeking out Fuego K-pop related questions for the crew. If you have any, please drop them in the YouTube comment section or in the suggestion box channel on Discord. Ask away for your chance at your questions being answered in future SojuTalk episodes. All right, so
There we go.
essentially Harold's opening it up, not just hot takes. He wants some questions, so give us some questions and maybe yours will get answered during the podcast in the future. But we are now at part 1 of SojuTalk episode 99, where we discuss big new releases, take a quick rewind, and hit you with the music show winners. Let's get it. So in terms of big new releases, we're covering 5 songs this week. So the first one, on August 4th, Tuesday, we have a certain Rocket Punch with a song called Juicy. We also have Taemin with 2 Kids. On August 6th, Friday, we have Cherry Bullet with Aloha. And then on July 7th, Friday, we have Treasure's debut with Boy. And then today, on August 10th, Monday, we have On and Off with Sukhumvit Swimming. But let's start at the top with Warren's favorite group, Rocket Punch, and their new song, Juicy. So they are from Woollim Entertainment. They debuted in 2019. Last songs were Bouncy and Bim Bam Boom, 0 music show wins so far. I will let Warren talk first, clearly.
Oh.
There you go. It's been about a week.
Yeah.
And just a heads up. If this is the first episode, if episode 99 is the first episode you're listening to us, if you haven't noticed by now, I really like this group. I just happened to. I blame Mnet for that. But look. Bim Bam Boom, great debut. Very solid. Lovely. Bouncy?
Dumpster fire. Dumpster fire.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Juicy? I kind of dig it. Diggity dig. I have some complaints. I don't think it's the world's perfect song, but I kind of dig it, Look. Let's go over what people have been pointing out as the negative stuff. The songs sounds messy and there's so much going on.
Really?
There's not
Okay.
a central grounded thing going on, and I kind of get that. The arrangement's
with
kind
that
of
one.
messy. Yeah, the arrangement's kind of messy. It's there's brass at one end, and then there's the tropical instruments going on the left side, and there's a lot of instruments. I kind of agree with that. That being said, what I did notice as a positive is that they had a core concept and they really, really committed to it. The whole the juice drinking thing, it's in their choreo, it's in the music, it's in the music video, it's everywhere. It's, if you haven't noticed, the track is called Juicy,
Right.
Right. Look. I don't want to ramble on too long, but at the same time, I could forever. So, here's the thing. Is it the world's perfect song that's gonna rocket them into stardom with this? No, that's not what it is. But at the same time, I'm very satisfied with the comeback. And I hope they stay the F away from this whole girl crush thing, because they tried, didn't go well. I don't think it's a good idea to go for it anymore. I think a lot of fans have been saying this in the comments of the 17 cover video, but what really suits RP, in my opinion, is like a refreshing image. You know, it's kind of like fizzy, kind of juicy, if you will. Yeah, bubbly. But like energetic at the same time. I think that's the kind of concept they should go for. Now, this in that aspect, this track, a little bit too much sugar. You know.
I can see
the last couple episodes I've been drinking some LaCroix, you know? Maybe, you know, something like that. Instead of like the thing is like but now when I'm drinking LaCroix, and then one day I'd go back to like Coke. Man, that is like too sugary for me now. It's kind of what that's like. So I would prefer a little less sugar, a little bit more calm arrangement, if you will, Mr. Iggy Yongbae, you know. I don't think this is his best work, to be honest. I've heard better from him. So it's been a wild week.
Weren't you going to talk about the visuals or something? Wasn't that another
visuals?
thing?
Oh my god, boy! It's like it's. I don't know. It's like it's the best it's ever been, and I feel like it's just gonna keep getting better. You know, like I don't like the costumes. Costumes are kind of
bad. They're kind of bad.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't like them. I don't like
They're
them.
kind of bite. Not gonna lie, but like dope ass hair, you know.
Yes, styling hair was really nice.
I know. I think I have nothing to complain in that aspect, and I think they are en route. They're en route. To have a very solid fandom, to have a very solid, successful career. Their sale numbers very good right now.
Nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
Way better than our competitors. I don't want to name any, but we are. So I don't want to brag. I don't mean to brag.
We're gonna cover a competitor in 2 songs, aren't we?
I mean, I don't want to name it. So I just want I don't want to brag or anything, but like, I thought we'd like sell way less because Bouncy wasn't received really well. But somehow we've like doubled, tripled. Like,
that's really good. Yeah.
I know. Okay, it hasn't tripled. I was exaggerating. So. Okay, I feel like I can go again after you two go.
I need to go first because you're gonna be nicer than I am gonna be.
Oh, interesting. Visually, like we mentioned, I thought all the girls looked really good hair wise. I didn't really mind the outfits. I thought they fit the vibe of the song, so I didn't think it was a problem. Visually, the graphics in the MV are really cool. I feel like it's one of the few music videos in the summer, I guess now, that kind of utilized that much graphics in like a very stationary set, which I thought was cool. My biggest concern with the song was the chorus. Mostly the first part of the chorus. I wasn't really feeling it. I thought there was like some interesting background noises that when I listened to it with headphones, with audio phones, it kind of there's something in the background that sounds like a rattling, like a metal sound. I don't know if anybody hears it as well, but whenever I listen to it, I feel like I'm listening to like a door open, like the I don't know. It sounds like something else, and I always have to look up, and I'm a little confused. But something about the chorus, I wasn't really feeling it. But the rest of the song I thought was pretty solid. There's a part in the last half, or like almost last third of the song, I think is Yeonhee's part that was teased before the release. That I thought was yes, that part. I thought it was really nice, and I wish there was more parts like that throughout the song, because I felt like it kind of felt pretty, I guess, not. How should I say? Like, there wasn't much of a progression, like up or down, to be honest, that I could tell. And I feel like the chorus tries to do that because it picks up a little bit, but it still felt a little slow for some reason to me. But anyway, I like that part at the end with Yeonhee, and I wish there would have been more of that.
신나게 흔들어봐도.
Yes.
La. Juice. Shake it.
Okay,
like
let's talk about Juice. Number one, the official translation of what is said there is juicy, right?
Right.
And for some reason, they say Juice.
Who cares?
But the weird thing is, it's not like it's consistent because they say juicy at other points during the song,
Yes,
right?
that's true.
So that was a little weird. I think you could have just made the translation juice, and then you could have gotten away with it. Personally,
That's true, yeah.
The main number one. This isn't a bad song. This is pretty good. This is the first thing.
There you go.
Definitely
You have
better than
good-
Bouncy. I'm still undecided if I think it's better than Bim Bam Boom. I probably think it is though.
Really?
Overall,
I
yeah.
actually prefer Bim Bam Boom over this.
Same.
I'm
I
not-
would too.
I'm not completely sure. I think my main issue with the song is it felt like it lacked a little bit of substance for me.
Yeah.
Meaning that like, you know how sometimes you go to like a pool party or something, they got a bunch of appetizers out, right? But you were really hungry. You wanted a full meal. I just didn't get a full meal with this song, sir. You know what I mean, though.
You got a bunch of tapas.
Yeah, I got a bunch of tapas, but not a
Yeah.
meal. I didn't get the paella though. I wanted the paella.
You wanted all the carbs, but you never got the carbs.
Yeah. That's my biggest issue with the song. I agree that specifically the front half of the chorus, like Anita was saying, I completely agree with that. I want to say justice for Jury out here.
Yeah.
Girl didn't get a line till a minute 45 seconds into the song.
More of Jury,
The entire
please.
through the first chorus, everyone else got parts but Jury. Just pointing that out. Just an observation.
I think it was for the greater good.
Okay.
Okay.
I
From
know.
a Jury stand, that's interesting for you.
I
to
know. Probably the biggest jury stand here in the room. So, but,
I
but,
thought,
yeah.
say. Suyun, I like her. Nice hair. Yunny has that it factor going on for sure. Something about her visuals on point. Should I make the hot take now?
Go for it.
I think Cherry Bullet song's better. Just wanted to say that. Regardless of the issues with that song, which we'll address once we get to it, I prefer the Cherry Bullet song. Just saying.
Here's what I'll say. I understand if you like the Cherry Bullet song better. But I'm just gonna say your tastes are kind of trash. What can I say?
Completely unbiased.
The thing is, I definitely get the part about like you not getting the carbs and like there's not enough substance. Because if you look at songs like the new Cherry Bullet song or Bim Bam Boom, there's a lot of like layered instruments. Like there's a lot of layers of going like
I don't know about that, but yeah, I get the line you're on.
the saws, super saws, chord stacks, whatever you want to call it. That was completely missing in this arrangement, and that was what made me like feel like the chorus feels a little light. It's
Yep, that's my main,
Yeah.
my number one complaint.
yeah.
But overall, I think it's good. I think Rocket Punch is progressing well.
Yes, for sure.
I know you don't want this, but percentage wise, I have a feeling they're gonna add people in the future.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to completely bring it up, right?
No. I went back and checked every
Okay.
time we discussed Rocket Punch in this podcast.
I bring it up.
You always bring it up. Every episode.
Of course I do. Of
You
course
did it
I
for
do.
Bouncy. You did it for Bim Bam Boom. You did it for
No,
the
no.
YouTube special we did. Like, come on.
What I was going to say was actually a good thing. I was going to say that I'm not convinced they need them in two songs. That was the point
there
I was
we
trying
go,
to
there
make.
we go.
So, yeah, I had you in the first half, sir. Not in the second
Sir,
half.
I apologize for judging you based off of your. I think you're a great person.
Because my whole
I
point
don't
was
think
that-
you have trash taste anymore. Like,
My whole point is I did some thinking and I was like, if they have 5 songs and they're doing okay, it is going to be a little weird. Now, do they have any other options? That's the big question. But I can see your worries, like why it might not be the best fit, but at the same time, what else is Willem gonna do? So shout out to Rocket Punch, honestly trending in the correct direction. But let's move on to the next one. We have Taemin's 2 Kids. He is from SM. Taemin is like one of the legendary people in K-pop, storied career. Debuted back in 2008 with SHINee, 2014 as a solo artist, 2019 with Super M. Last 3 solo songs were Famous, Want, and Day and Night. 8 music show-ins as a solo artist, 59 with SHINee. There's not a super great amount of things to talk about because this is essentially a performance video, right?
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess.
kind of, yes.
Yeah.
I kind of saw it like, number one, this music video was shot in France. So
Right,
I'm
yes.
pretty sure they filmed this pre-Rona, because you know how this got delayed because Taemin got hurt at a certain point.
Right.
So I'm assuming this was filmed pre-Rona, because I can't imagine them flying a whole crew out to
Yeah.
France.
Hopefully, yes.
You know, clearly with Taemin, next level dancer, one of the best ever in the game. I felt that this song, specifically the song, lacks something a little bit iconic like some of his other songs, but he himself is what is iconic. That was my overall impressions from this song. What about you guys?
I do feel like you mentioned it as a performance song, and I do feel like it does come off as that, just purely for the fact that there's just a lot of focus on him, and like not a lot of like a storyline really being built about the music video. Like the shot is pretty stable, just on him in this metropolitan setting, which was very simple in comparison to the rest of his other solo work.
Correct.
And I found it interesting though, because to me, I didn't quite perceive it as choreo focused as some other of his solo stuff, because I've seen it mentioned before, and I believe Taemin mentioned it on a V Live. I think there's no set choreo for this. It was freestyle apparently.
Oh, okay.
When it was
That's
recorded.
pretty cool then.
That's what I
Yeah,
heard.
and I kind of feel like there is that vibe throughout the whole song. Like it's a lot more abstract. Like there's not like anything very concrete. Like it's very flowy, I would say, and it almost made me focus more on the vocals of the song. It's very angsty, more emotional than a lot of his solo stuff. Like I think Press Your Number was kind of angsty, I guess, but it was still more in line with like a intense choreography along with it. So I found it a little bit different in that sense. I also feel like it kind of sounds more in line with SHINee, with like the group work that he's done with SHINee, as far as B-sides. Because if you listen to more of SHINee's discography, they do more like balladish pop sounds, not necessarily as title tracks, but in the rest of their stuff that is not necessarily title track. And I think this kind of fits more in line with that. And that's also kind of new for him, because his sound, apart from SHINee, is quite different. I think SHINee tends to go more with electronic synth, but still very cool, like not that hard on choreography, at least in the most recent years. So I think he was kind of leaning towards more of that sound. And I don't know, I found it a combination of very different things, which is kind of refreshing from him as a soloist.
You said you're different. I'm gonna actually +1 you on that
Oh.
and say this was not a choreo song. The choreo was like an added bonus for me.
I see, yeah.
Okay.
To me, there was already so much to talk about with the track itself. Like, because it's very minimal. There's not a lot going on. Yet it feels so full, you know? Like, using Doug's analogy from earlier, this is like a full course meal and a dessert, and the chef comes out with more food, and you're like, no, like, stop. Like, there's a lot going on. And I think the thing is, like, I knew that Taemin is a good singer, you know? I knew that he's very expressive. I didn't know that he was this expressive. I was incredibly impressed. This is... It's wild, because if you look at the lyrics or what they're going through, yeah, it's a little angsty. Yeah, you know, they're young and dumb. Ha ha ha. You know, like, that part is kind of like a typical Chainsmoker track. Whatever. That being said, I get so much depth from his emotions and the way he's expressing. And the thing with K-pop and art is that people say, you know, there are critics of K-pop say, you know, K-pop can never be art because nobody's expressing themselves. But at the same time, the argument against that is expression itself is a form of art, right? Like, you don't have to come up with the lyrics, and you don't have to come up with the composition, the melody,
That's kind
whatever.
of deep.
Right. This is like the peak form of that. I actually was looking at the okay. Taemin took part in writing the lyrics, and he didn't take part in any of the composition or the arrangement, but still, like, even without all that, there's so much of the way he expresses his emotions that's coming through where I don't have to recognize the lyrics, or I'm like, oh man, like, yeah, he angsty, you know, like he's looking back and he's like, yo, I was young, dumb, yeah.
Kids.
Young Dumb. Yeah, he was a he was a kid between the two kids. Look, it is. I think this is probably the song this week where I say this might be the last one you ever do, right? Because this I want to nominate for. What is it called again?
Certified Spicy.
Certified Spicy. I had the new name in my mind, but I didn't want to say it. Okay,
so
I want to nominate.
I don't think we announced it, but Certified Spicy is going away next week. We have a whole new system thought up. It's nothing
Stay
crazy.
tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah, Warren just dropped a little spoiler, but the thing is, we were gonna mention it after the segment anyway. So
Well, you have to wait until the end of the episode now. Oh, sorry.
But you want to give this one it?
Yeah, like.
What about you, Anita?
I could be convinced. I think you.
I'm not
Warren-
convinced. To be honest.
Here's the thing. It could have done a very typical thing. It does like the melodies, brings in the drums, drives it forward. It could have taken a break. It then could have done like one of those like typical future bass, Chainsmoker drops. That didn't happen. He pulled. What I'm trying to say is, when I talk about like the song flow and the dynamics and like, build and a climax and like a drop, those kind of things, he didn't really rely on the production. He did it himself. He just put all of that in his backpack on his back and just walked up the hill
Carried
on
the
his own.
song.
He just carried the whole flow of the song and then like walked back down. When is the last time we heard that? Probably when Crush did Ohio, like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
And then pretty much nothing else, I bet.
I think it's interesting that you compare the two though, because I think Taemin has or at least it shows with this song that he's venturing on that side much more now, which I think is refreshing to see. So I see it as a good sign. Mm-hmm.
It definitely is. This is probably, for me at least, I don't remember Taemin's solo stuff too well. Shiny stuff, obviously, great stuff. But this, in my recent memory, is probably the most memorable SM track in a while.
You know what's an interesting thing, Warren?
Yeah?
Juicy got a higher percentage of spicy votes on our Discord than this song. Just throwing that out there. I don't know. Just for info.
I feel weird. I feel very conflicted.
I personally don't think this is spicy. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. Just saying.
Small brain move.
I'm gonna transition now. So the next song, August 6th Friday, Cherry Bullets, Aloha OA. So they are from FNC, debuted in 2018. Last three songs were Hands Up, Really Really, Q&A. So there was a little bit of controversy, I'll say, regarding this song.
About that real quick.
I will explain that, but before that, we are just going to judge this song on a musical level, right? A K-pop level, because I don't think we're qualified at all to speak on Hawaiian culture. So the main issue was that Aloha OA was originally, there's a famous song written by Queen, I might butcher this, but I will try my best, Lili'uokalani, Kalane, who was the last queen of Hawaii, and she wrote the song while under captivity from the US government. And the song itself is viewed with extreme reverence, and thus some had issue with the use of the song in its title and parts of the song in Cherry Bullet's song. So that was the big issue that happened. Issues aside, I think that this is a really solid comeback from Cherry Bullet. I feel bad for them given the circumstances because it's not like the members are the ones who are choosing the songs to do.
Yeah.
True.
Right? So that's why I feel bad there. Overall, though, I found the song to be really light and fun. I'm not a fan of summer songs. I really like this one, though, to be completely honest. I thought the chorus was good. I liked the choreo. I thought everyone was looking great. Warren, what are your opinions on this song? Because they are let's be honest, a direct competitor to Rocket Punch. So how do you feel about this one?
Yeah, I don't know why, but we keep coming back at the same time. Like we're always coming back like a couple days apart. It's driving me a little nuts.
It's not good.
No. It's not good for them because we have better sales. Oh, did I just? Oh, Jesus. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Look, I should maintain my objectivity. I'm a professional podcaster. Look, I think the song's right. I don't think it's the greatest thing to happen of all time. I'm leaning a little more towards like zone. I think I gave it a thumbs down in the poll. And my main gripes is two things. One is like the main lead synth in the chorus. You know, do you know what I'm talking about? Like the wang sound, like
I do know what you're talking about.
yeah, it's a little annoying. Feels a little detached. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. The other part is, and I do want to say this carefully because I don't know any Hawaiian people. I am not a Hawaiian. My knowledge of that is very, very limited. But at the same time, when I talk about tracks and I talk about references, analogies, or allusions, or metaphors, whatever, my answer always there. Well, my question always is why? If you're gonna do it, make me accept it. Convince me. There was no amount of convincing here. It honestly just felt like they plucked out a theme and then just plugged it in. You know,
I agree. It doesn't seem like there was much thought behind the inclusion of references and the melody of that song.
Right? Yeah. The cultural part aside, even from a purely like musical perspective, in terms of like the theme, kind of not a good choice. It feels kind of like they just rammed it in because they needed something to like give it substance. When tracks do that, not a fan. You know, Wanna Slit did that. Not a fan. That being said, everything besides that, pretty good arrangement.
Why do you prefer Juicy to this one?
Why do I prefer Juicy to this one?
Yeah,
because Juicy at least took some risks. You know, it did new things. When was the last time you heard a track like Juicy?
That's true. It is quite different.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
Real quick about Rocket Punch, the third track on that album called Summer Punch. There has been multiple people saying that should have been the title track. You know, it is a lot more generic and it is a lot more like GP friendly, but that song feels very safe. It feels like even safer than Oompa Oompa. Remember when we talked about Oompa Oompa? Our general consensus was that it's a little too safe. Look, when you're at this level of like your career, gotta take some risks, man. You know, you're still new. Do some new things. Go where nobody has ever gone before. Cherry Bullet didn't do that. Sorry.
All right, Anita. Wrap us up here with Cherry Bullet. What do you think of the song?
I think I might be a mixture of you both because I've been keeping up with Cherry Bullet. I really loved Q&A. I still listen to it a lot. Still my favorite song for them.
A good song.
And I feel like this had the potential to be equally as good, I would say. But there were little things that kind of added up and didn't quite surpass Q&A. And I still don't think they've surpassed any of their previous comebacks, in my opinion. But visually, very cool MV. I liked a lot of the different sets that they utilized, like the outfits, how they style them, the ideas like for each person, like they had like a little theme to each person. I thought that was really cool. But it kind of also, like Warren mentioned, it seemed a little odd when it came to the chorus because I really like the chorus. The first part of the chorus is very nice. And then it gets to the part when it starts to sample the original song. And it, like Warren mentioned, it just felt very unnecessary. Like it didn't quite fit in with what they had already established up to that point. So, like we mentioned, like without taking into consideration the issues that the sample or the sampling brings to the song, just the usage of it musically just didn't make sense to me, and I feel like it could have done without it. Like we mentioned, I don't think there was enough research done as to like what this song represents and just how it could be utilized, because I think it can, as long as you're informed about it and you take the precautions, so you make sure that you're not offending other people or cultures. But aside from that, I just felt musically it just did not make sense to me, and that's where I kind of felt like, dang it, I really wish they would have made different choices so that the chorus would have sounded the way that it could have sounded without that sample, which I think it was progressing nice up until that point. So yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like it's a good summer song. like you said, Doug. But it's still not superior, in my opinion, to Q&A. And I guess I'm still waiting for them to go back to that kind of sound and that kind of vibe, because I think it really suits them, and I think it would be beneficial, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's technically not a sample, right, Warren? You were telling me this yesterday.
I mean, yeah, I was kind of off about it, but the sampling, it can mean two things. On a broader sense, it can refer to what they did, right? They took the Hawaiian song and then borrowed the melody, borrowed the lyrics, borrowed the theme, kind of, not really, and then plugged it in. That's one thing. On a more specific level, sampling is when you like take the literal wave file of a track, and then you chop it, screw it, repeat it, loop it, put all your effects on it, and then use it as an instrument.
Would you? So you would call this more like what would you consider this then?
I mean,
referencing,
borrowing. But if people say sampling, I'm not going to stop them. That's also makes sense. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one. This one's probably the biggest one in terms of like significance of the week. Sorry, Warren, it's the truth.
It's okay, I understand.
August 7th, Friday, Treasure finally debuted with Boy. They are from YG. They're debuting right now, clearly. Their last song, we only had that pre-release with Bangyedam Weo, Zero Music Showins. They are the 12-member group that stems from YG Treasure Box. Originally, it was 13. Someone dipped, right, Anita? So we got 12 now. I kind of like this debut. I thought it was good. I thought overall, really solid. My issue was the only member I know is Bangyedam because I did not watch Treasure Box, right? I've watched this music video since Friday maybe 10 times, right? I can't tell you what anyone else in this group looks like. My issue was I felt that this was the type of song where they're promoting, in a very YG move, we're promoting the brand, not the individuals, which I think is an interesting thing because YG is not known for large groups. Generally, the groups are small. This is a very atypical, the group size for a YG group, right? Straight up. There's a sound effect in the chorus that reminds me of How You Like That. I saw a lot of people.
Really?
Yes.
A lot of people were talking about that. Although it is not produced by Teddy. This is not a Teddy song. So it seems that maybe... What?
RT? Yeah, that's his name.
So it seems like I saw a lot of people being like, "LOL, did they really want to just like get their value from the sound pack that they used?" That I saw people saying jokes like that. Overall, I thought the pre-chorus build was the best part. I think Gravity, you now got some competition for Rookie Boy Group of the Year.
Ooh.
And overall, I thought the dance break was really good. So those are my takes. Let's move on to Anita, who has the most invested in Treasure out of the three of us.
Yes. I'll be honest. So disclaimer, I was not keeping up with them very closely up to this point, just because other things came up, and I feel like sometimes you don't want to be too invested if things don't work out, right? So that was my fear with this group because, like we mentioned before, the show ended over a year ago. And they were supposed to have this group, and the way that the show ended was a little messy with the members that were chosen, and then like the number that was chosen was not the number that was said at the beginning of the show. So it was a little messy in that sense. So I didn't really want to get too invested in this group. But I will say this felt quite solid. I think it didn't do worse than I was expecting. I feel like it did just about right. So I think they're have
very
definitely
good. Like
a lot
kids,
of
the
very
kids
very
are
talented.
really good in this group.
Yes, I would say that vocally they have a good amount of people that stand out to me, in my opinion. But I did want to say that in the music video and some aspects of this promotion that they're doing, like how they're promoting them as a group, feels very retro, but like 2010-ish. And I don't know what it is. I think it might have been some of the visuals in the music video. They have like a light board on some of the sets. And it felt really, very reminiscent of YG music videos coming out at that time. Thinking like 21, I Am the Best, like very light boardish, like lighting set. I don't know. maybe I'm the only one, but it felt very retro in that sense. But I don't know if that's the vibe they're doing, like trying to go back to that kind of feel. But it's interesting. For the chorus, I think the sounds that Doug was referring to, I interpreted as kind of EDM dubstep kind of sounds, where they do like yes, they do like a bit of a drop and then like a dance break in the chorus, which I thought was very interesting as far as the progression goes, because it felt like it built up and then it kind of drops, but in a very interesting way, because I did not expect it to utilize that kind of sound in that point. So I think I like it. I'm not sure. I feel like I need some getting used to, because it's such an interesting choice in the chorus. But I don't think it's a bad one. I think it just makes you want to listen to it again to really figure out what's going on there. And the one part that I thought was like a little confusing, and I feel like if they could have done without it, was towards the end they do like a chanting part. And it kind of fell out of place. I don't know why. I didn't think it was necessary to do like the chanting all together bit at the end, but I don't know. I guess it works for dynamics, like the energy towards the end, maybe. But yeah, vocally, I also want to shout out Jihoon. So he's one of the members. He has pink hair in the music video. I thought it was really interesting that he got quite a bit of vocal lines in the chorus, and I was impressed by the fact that he was hitting some of the higher notes, which I thought they would promote to Bang Ye-dam, because he's the it boy of this group, very well known outside of Treasure.
Is he center in your opinion?
I think he's gonna be promoted that way. I wouldn't say that they're very explicitly pushing him all the time, but he's up there. He's in that middle spot for sure.
Is this a meh for you, Warren? I'm assuming.
Man, I've become too predictable.
Big old meh.
I think it's it's all right. It's not bad, but it's not like I'm gonna be like, oh, Treasure, that's the group that did the boy. Like I'm not. That's not gonna happen.
I think they're rookies though, right? So
they're rookies, but the thing is, if I think of certain debuts, it comes to my mind. Like I still remember the AB6 debut. I still remember the Cherry Bullet debut Q&A. That was a great song. With the debut song, I'm not expecting like Taemin here. Like I'm expecting like a certain level of safety. I'm expecting a certain level of something that sets them apart from the other groups. I think that second part was like, I just didn't see it. To be honest, maybe it's because I didn't watch the show and I don't know who these people are. But watching the music video 3 or 4 times, not that much stuck with me. It just kind of felt like, okay, yes, that comes after this. Yes, okay, now you have a dance break. Okay, we should put in the rappers. The rappers are good, by the way. I like them. Yoshi does a little bit of like sing rap in the beginning, and then Cheon-suk, green-haired kid, does more of a traditional tight rap. I like that. I like that.
His tone.
Yeah. I expected one of them to be like one of those like growly, like screaming rappers, like I expected that to happen. That didn't. I was pleasantly surprised. Besides that, though, like I guess maybe I'm getting a little too old. I don't know. Like,
the thing is, I'm very curious to see how they promote such a large group, because
it's gonna be interesting.
A lot of YG is like, let's be real here. A lot of YG lately is let's sit on our cool groups and just get a lot of commercials going, right? But like, how are you gonna handle 12? Like, and that's why their small size was good, right? Because you could promote individual brands, get great social media going, right? But like, you got 12 kids. What are they supposed to do when they like YG typically doesn't have a ton of comebacks, right? I know that this is a debut like 2-song album, so they're probably gonna get more songs. They have to, because if they don't, and you got 12, and you get 12 kids sitting in the dorm all day, like what are they supposed to do, right? Overall, I think it's a very solid debut for them. I think that the winner of Male Rookie Group of the Year is going to come down to the next song released by Gravity and Treasure within 2020. I still think it's up in the air, because I think both of the songs were about the same level, Break All the Rules and Boy. We'll have to see though. Obviously, ton of potential. YG backing. You know,
Right.
they're set up much better, I would say. Actually, these days you can't even say that. But on paper,
I would say that holds them back, if anything. Like
on paper, they should have more resources, but we'll have to see.
see.
Let's move on to the last song. August 10th, Monday today, On and Off, Sukhumvit Swimming. That is how you pronounce that, Sukhumvit. They are from WM Entertainment, debuted in 2017. Last 3 songs were New World, Why, We Must Love. You probably last saw them on Road to Kingdom. You know, first thing, Sukhumvit, right? You're probably like, what the heck is a Sukhumvit? So Sukhumvit is a very popular touristy area in Bangkok, specifically. When I was in Thailand, I did visit Sukhumvit. Sukhumvit's also known to have a very large red light district. Just pointing it out there too. But shout out to our Thai listeners if we have any.
Hello.
You know, I like this song, right? I thought it was funky, cool. My problem is I thought the music video was really confusing. There was an incredible amount of stuff going on. Number one, you called the song Sukhumvit Swimming. All right, I was like, okay, we're probably gonna get some kind of Southeast Asian tropical motifs. There was a tuk-tuk, which was the car that I think Wyatt was in. I think he was in it. That's a tuk-tuk. That's like a equivalent of like a taxi type thing in Thailand. They also had a robot concept, a cowboy concept, a post-apocalyptic thing going on. And I look back at the previous On and Off stuff, they always have this really high concept, epic thing going on that I just don't really understand what they're getting at. So maybe if you're an On and Off fan, you probably understand the lore. But as me, a casual On and Off fan, specifically from Road to Kingdom, I'm just a little bit confused at what you're getting at. Musically, though, I thought there were parts of this song. The chorus, I thought had Coco Pop vibes from EXO.
Yes, I heard it too. Yep.
Just because it's reggae doesn't mean
It is. Oh, it sounds similar. And then additionally, I thought the verses sound a little bit like CLC's Me. So those were the 2 songs that I thought that there was a little bit of overlap with. And I am a big fan of them since Road to Kingdom. Kind of like On and Off. This was my favorite song of the week, by the way. Just pointing that out.
Oh, nice.
okay. I mean, I understand why you say this reminds you of Coco Pop, but there's a lot of like reggae songs that go off of like, dude, you could pull the primary Choa song at me, and then you could be like, oh, these 2 songs are similar. Like, it does have that like like the riff where it's like, that thing, like. The whole rhythm, it relies on that.
I'm not saying they're copying. I'm just saying they have similar vibes.
It was a very similar instrumental, yeah.
It is based on a very similar genre.
Yes.
That being said, I felt like I guess I don't remember Coco Bop well enough, but this felt like a very nice combination, I guess, between genres. Like there's like a whole drop part, and then which is more typically electronic, and then there's the whole like reggae riff going. Like I felt like it mixed those really well. The pacing was a bit off, but it was never like confusing or anything. It's just kind of like, all right, we're just gonna keep going, and it kind of worked. And
do you agree the music video is confusing?
I
had
sorry,
no clue
what the music video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going off about the arrangement. You just stopped me.
No, because you said that weren't you saying that the arrangement's a little bit confusing? I thought you were. I was gonna ask, do you think the whole thing's confusing? That was where I was getting at.
I think the music video. I understand what you meant about the music video being confusing. I just thought it was like nice eye candy while I'm like listening to the music. I didn't really have a problem with it. The arrangement itself, it felt like there were weird breaks here and there where I'm like, okay, that was kind of funky, but I guess we're just going with it and just rolled with it, and it kind of worked. Overall, no complaints. It's very refreshing. I really like this.
Yeah.
Probably the most memorable boy group song in a while.
Well, here's the thing. If you know On and Off's past songs, they are very electronic focused, right?
Yes,
I don't remember any.
They are extremely electronic focused and futuristic sounding. And this is technically like, I think this is interesting because for them this is a summer song. Even though you might not think this is a summer song, this is like an electronic summer song, which is interesting because most groups that do summer songs, there's a distinction between this is the summer song and this is not the summer song, right? But I thought that they did an interesting job combining what they normally do plus having summer-ish stuff involved.
They did Why? I remember this. Yeah.
But Anita, you like this one?
I think for the most part, I did enjoy it. I like you mentioned, I did find the instrumental to have some of the same inspiration as Coco Bob. Like right away, I feel like, oh, this sounds like around that some type of genre, I would say. And it fits. I think it fits the time of the year very much. I could see how they were interpreting this as the summer sound that they're going for. For the MV, I did think it was a little confusing, a little overwhelming sometimes as to what was going on, because I think I was trying to figure out like what is the storyline going on here, but there's like time stopping and then people going to like different sets, like dimensions, I would say. So it got a little confusing, but if you take it for what it is, I think like Warren mentioned, it's cool. It's really interesting what they're doing visually. So if you're not too confused, like too much effort like being used to trying to figure out what the plot is, then I think you will enjoy it more. I also feel like this music video really shows off their personality as people, because it was a lot more fun, a lot more relaxed in that sense, because a lot of the previous comebacks and releases have been more intense, like quite cinematic at times too. Yeah, like the build up. Yeah. Like visually and musically, much more intense. So I think this was a very good break for them. And like we mentioned, since they were on Road to Kingdom, this is kind of a new direction. Well, I don't know if it's a new direction, but more of a new take to their usual sound. And it's really utilizing the stuff that they've built on Road to Kingdom, I think, and trying to transfer it to their next promotion period. So I think they're definitely going to be one of the groups that benefits the most from Road to Kingdom or post Road to Kingdom attention. So I don't know. I am happy for them that they're getting a lot more exposure. More people are finding out about them because of their participation in the show and how memorable they were in the show as personalities. So I think it's all good for them. And this song in particular is very interesting to hear. So I think more people would be interested in this type of sound and then finding out about their previous stuff and how it differs.
I think it's interesting that their label mates are Oh My Girl, right?
Yes. The connection.
They, like, for some reason, On and Off has this, like, concept of epic scale. Like, it's almost like a movie, a lot of their stuff, right?
Yes.
Where Oh My Girl, there's not as much of a direction of, like, a giant scale thing going on, right? I think it's really interesting how the company chooses to handle the two groups very differently.
Really? I thought that was, like, very natural for them to do that. Because, like... Because the whole lore building thing is, like, really, at the end of the day, it's a big service for all the fans, right? It's stuff for fans to build into. Boy groups tend to be, you know, more fandom-based. Girl groups tend to be more GP-based, you know, general public-based. Oh My Girl's a girl group, yeah. You know, if they had a whole lore thing, you know, that's extra barrier of entry. What you don't want that.
Also, you have to give respect to WM for sticking through with these giant scale things, because it's probably expensive, and it's not like On and Off had the biggest fandom period, right? At least going into now. So shout out to like WM for sticking through with spending a lot of money on the type of stuff they're doing, right? Because it would be very easy for them to be like, too much investment, right? But they're continuing with it, clearly. All right, I think we're good with all the songs this week. The other releases this week include One Team's, I think this is another Hawaiian inspired song.
This is 100% Korean. What are you talking about?
It's referencing, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. How do I pronounce this then, Warren?
Olleri Kolleri.
Okay, dude, I just had a big oof there because, like, all right, if you read this as if it's a Polynesian word, do you get by what I was going with?
I mean, I could see the confusion, but yeah, I think there is a reference to a Korean like saying, like a prank that you do, right?
Okay, I had no clue.
It's like things you used to say when you pull a prank in the 70s or the 80s.
Okay, well, thanks for clearing that up for me, because I thought that this was another Polynesian theme song.
This is, Peninsulan. This is it, you know.
Okay, the next song is One the Nine's Count, which is their goodbye song before disbandment. So they were meant to disband because they're a temporary group because they're the winners from under 19. So this is their goodbye song. The next one is Annoy's WAY, Way, Where You Are is what they're calling it. Next, we have Victon Sungu. He made his solo debut with Sacrifice. And then additionally today, we have Hyorin with 9 Lives, which is a pre-release. But we're now at a quick rewind. Let's be honest, this segment is going away next week. This is the last time you heard me quick rewind. So back on episode 96, we reviewed Crush's Ohio, TOO's Count 1-2, and Irene and Seulgi's second song, Naughty, which got certified spicy. Naughty.
Okay, yeah. Go.
You're going to ask, why did we not give Ohio certified spicy, correct?
Yeah. Why didn't we do that, huh?
I don't think it's spicy. I think it's good, though.
Well, we gave Naughty spicy.
Naughty also deserves certified spicy.
Yeah.
I think Naughty holds up really well still.
Agreed.
I think it is I think it is way superior to the other song, which I can't even remember the name of right now. Monster. I think Naughty is 100% superior to Monster.
Live performances for this are amazing. So visually appealing, so great. Yeah. Amazing choreo.
Good dancers.
I'm assuming then you've been listening to Crush's Ohio, Warren.
Dude, non-stop. You kidding?
Non-stop?
Yeah.
What about you, Anita?
I would say I definitely went back more to Naughty, and purely, well, half and half, purely because of the choreo, because the choreo is so cool in the music video. And if you watch the live performances, which if you haven't, I really suggest you check it out, because what you see in the music video is exactly what they pull off in the live, and it's so impressive how they do it. Yep. And like I mentioned, visually, very cool outfits that they do and styling. I think Irene had like a bob at some point. So she looked really pretty, so check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna one-up you and say if you still haven't seen the live performance, you should pause you should pause our podcast, stop listening, go watch the music video on YouTube real quick, and come back to it. Like,
there you go.
No, not the music video, the live performance.
Sorry, the live stream. That's what I meant. The live stream. Please go watch the live stream.
Yeah, I think
live
one of
performances.
I think one of our comments, we reviewed it, was that can they pull it off in person? 100% they can.
Yes.
Oh man, they could have. Yeah.
The K-pop oldie of the week, last time we doing this too, is Boa's Atlantis Princess, all the way back in 2003. You know, wow. I believe Boa they started to do these celebrations for her 20th anniversary in the industry right now. So shout out to Boa, all-time great. But we're now at show winners, which is the last part of part 1. This is staying, so this was not the last time we did it.
Oh my god, stop spoiling!
but Anita, hit us with them.
All right. So on Tuesday on the show, AT's Inception had his first win, and they went on to follow on Wednesday on Show Champion with a second win. So congrats to them. Then on Thursday on M Countdown, Somi's What You Waiting For had its first win. So that's her first win ever as a soloist. So congrats to Somi as well. Then on Music Bank on Friday, there was no show or broadcast. Then following on Saturday, Show Music Core, SAC 3 had their second win for Beach Again. And finally on Sunday on Inkigayo, Hwasa's Maria had his third win. So it's a 7th Triple Crown of 2020 on Inkigayo. And there's a list of people who have done it already. So Red Velvet Psycho, Zico's Any Song, BTS is on, ITZY Wannabe, IU featuring Suga, 8, and Blackpink's How You Like That. There you go.
Yeah, this is the 7th Triple Crown of 2020. We're only in August, and 2019 only had 4 in total.
Oh.
So, something that's
interesting.
And I know I pointed this out when Blackpink got it, so that's 21 weeks of Triple Crown songs. That's almost the entire year. Wow. It's a weird phenomenon that's specific to Inkigayo, that these songs are maintaining their chart positions and winning 3 in a row very consistently right now. I don't know. Additionally, go watch Somi win her first win for M Countdown. Something really funny happens after she wins. She's doing a lemon challenge where she's just going to eat a lemon. So that's already funny. But then she eats a lemon, and then the trophy's head falls off. So
I heard about that.
It's really funny.
Wait, it broke?
Yeah, the head just falls off. And then she starts making really sad faces, but then her backup dancers come on because they think she's crying because she won. But she's actually crying because she won plus the head fell off. And then all of a sudden, one of the backup dancers they all start to run and look for the head.
Oh.
It's like a really weird situation. So go watch that. It's really funny. But we're now at the end of part 1 of SojuTalk episode 99. If you are listening to the audio version, sit tight. And if you are on YouTube, head over to the episode 99 part 2 video. We'll be back after a short break. 3, 2, 1.